Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? How's it going? Mighty Sun here, returning back to Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. So, if you did enjoy the animated trailer, then I'm pretty sure that it was a certified blast. With that being said, as you can see, that Nightmare Geese is here. Well, here is the good news and the bad news. The good news is that he is a playable that is as a DLC. The bad news is that Geese does not have his own ladder in the arcade or story mode, so that's really unfortunate. And I checked, so that's a real suckfest. But I suppose that the only option is that I can can play with Geese is that being on the episodes of Southtown. So we're doing it on the Southtown mode, and that's probably for the best because he is distinctly the being that as a boss character. So that would make sense of it. So I'm gonna do my best to see how far will I go with Geese. Because of course is that the percentages for the story's got to be 100%. So let's make the best, and let's see how far I can go. But as always, be sure to leave a like if you guys enjoyed this video, and let's begin. It all happened in an instant. The man before him punched the ground and unleashed a traveling mass of energy, the triple geyser. The entire density trembled from the force of his mighty punch. So on the receiving end, he smiled at the sight. His smile wasn't one of mockery or arrogance. It was simply quiet, determined smile of a man bearing the weight of his past. The man instinctively moved the counterattack with raging storm. However, the moment he raised his arms and an immense pain radiated in his chest, it was it just one of his many old injuries? Or perhaps a certain wound once given to him by his mortal enemy? Of course, this damn wound comes back to haunt me now. There's no escaping fate. He lowered his arms, and instead of pressing a hand against his chest, where the pain continued to pulse fiercely, threatened to restrict his movements. Both past and present intertwined under his pressing hand. Then a blinding light spread before him, a mass of energy. That unrelenting energy rushes straight at him, as if his vision were burned out like a bulb. Geese Howard fell into the darkness. The next thing he knew, there was a blunt pain in his back. Geese Tower railing that had broken, and his body was falling through the air, gravity beckoning him to the depths below. Time had stopped. It felt as if he was floating, so weightless that neither gravity nor time could hold him down in this moment. He understood. This is where my life ends. In that moment, his heart reflected that neither the past nor the future, but the simple acceptance of burning out his life's candle here in this moment. He allowed the strange, weightless feeling to envelope his body and silently closed his eyes, accepting his fate without resistance. Just then, something warm grabbed his hand But it wasn't fate, death, or any sort of historic human concept. It was Terry Bogard. Terry had desperately flung his arm out into the abyss, snagged Geese's hand, uncertain with his own safety. Terry did not wear the expression of a man who has been fighting his sworn enemy only a moment before. Instead, his brows were knit tightly, and his face darkened with the distress, as if he had been caught unaware by the sudden foreboding the toll of destiny's bell. At the same time, his eyes glowed with a bright light in an instinct to save Geese at the risk of his own life. You will have your revenge. Why not take it? The whistling wind swallowed Geese's subconsciously uttered words. The moment passed. Geese's mouth quirked and laughed fiercely, defiantly even. Geese, don't! Geese heard the protest. Still, he pulled free of Terry's hand. The air embraced him once more. His body eased back into the weightlessness. Gravity now the forgotten remnant of the living world. His eyes were filled with the glorious sight of Geese Tower, piercing the heavens, the very symbol of his strength. That, and the pain, the expression of Terry's face as he called out his name, eyes locked down on the rapid descent of the man who murdered his adopted father. These were the final moments of Geese Howard. Whew. What an intense dialogue that was. Okay, so the past. It happened unexpectedly. Word of Geese Howard, Southtown's charismatic evil, had arrived. A word of his death. To those who had oppressed under his reign and had long awaited their freedom, the news brought them the tears of joy. And those whose heart fostered envy and brought a weary smile. Present day, a shadow lurks in the streets of Southtown. Though it drifts aimlessly, it somehow seems to be looking for something. This shadow strangely resembles Geese Howard, the man once known and feared throughout Southtown as a charismatic evil. But this shadow is no human. It flickers in and out of the edge of reality. People walk the streets as usual, blissfully unaware of its presence. Even the overzealous vendors and the street hawkers fail to call it out. That being clearly isn't of this world, yet it still exists. Wordless and unhindering, it simply wanders the streets of Southtown. Is it a spirit from beyond the grave? Or is it an omen of tragedy yet to come? Only future will tell. Quest accept. Now let's start with this one.
Defeat is inevitable for you.
Get to hear that the over maker voice.
Final round. Get ready. Fight. Perfect day. Geese wins.
The charismatic laughter.
I will never rest. Got it?
Okay, whatever you say, Geese, or the shadow of Geese. The being continues to wander the streets of Southtown. It turns a corner and quickly comes into a stop in front of an older building. The sign above that the entrance reads Max Bar. Had any been able to see that being, they might have thought that it had been sucked into the sign. It's a phantom from disappearing inside of the building. It smoothly moves through the entrance and further inside the bar. At this early hour, the place is dramatically more quiet than as it is at night, with only one man sitting at the counter, excuse me. The man simply orders, "The usual?" Evidently familiar to the bartender, who wordlessly gives him a coffee. The pleading aroma of freshly brewed coffee fills the air. Along with the rising steam, a gentle voice too rises. Doesn't it smell delicious? They say that the scent of freshly brewed coffee boosts the concentration. Plus, it's relaxing. A fragment of a memory that springs forth. Geese sat at his usual the corner of the coffee shop, his hand reaching out to take a sip of the cup. You really love coffee, don't you? A light voice entered his ear, belonging to a softly smiling woman standing before him. Geese's bodyguard waited at the distance, but the profession was obvious to everyone in the coffee shop. Still, the woman didn't shy away. She spoke to him as if that he were an ordinary man. Geese had plenty of experiences with women flinging themselves at him, drawn to his wealth and power. He thought that she was just another one of them, but she wasn't. She happily talked to him like as he was just another customer. With her carefree smile and her candid words, her refreshing manner what was as natural as the air itself. Geese had scoffed diversely at her at the beginning, thinking it was just an act. But each time that they met, she spoke naturally and openly. Soon he found himself speaking openly to her as well. Never before he had met a woman such strength, gentleness, and unwavering gaze. The fragment that fades into the present like a fog. At Kane's estate, two men are seated in a lush and spacious garden, deeply embroiled in a serious conversation. Kane, you gotta believe me, I really saw him. I never said I didn't believe you, Fox. I simply have reservations as to the identity of this person. Ouch, come on. You know I'm a straight shooter. You're always too cautious, Kane. What Fox had seen would raise anyone's eyebrow in suspicion. Geese Howard out wandering the streets. Try as he might not to dismiss Fox. Kane frowns in a compilation, looking down as he tries to gather his thoughts. Logically, there's no way Geese could be alive, but if it's true, since learning of the existence of the sacred scrolls, Cain has been collecting and deciphering large amount of related texts and ancient records. The research has begun to convince him that the existence of a spiritual power that in this world exists an inexplicable phenomenon beyond understanding. For him, he can no longer simply laugh off the possibility of the illogic. Could his soul has come back to haunt the city? Interesting. So what's the plan? We going ghost busting? Reference to Ghostbusters. Yes. Let's hunt down the truth, Fox. I have a bad feeling about this. Sounds good, boss. Fox nods and heads into the garage to bring the car out. If the souls of the dead can cling to this world, then maybe... A dear friend flashes through his mind if he can't see his face or hear his voice. Just meeting his soul would be more than enough. Though only slight, a shade of grief darkens Kane's face. It is an expression he only ever revealed it to one person. In the back alley, the pointless conflict continues to burn out of control. Shouts and grunts and kicked in dust choke the air. The being which that has seemingly been observing the chaos moves soundlessly into the epic center of the conflict. Then, without any sort of warning or declaration, it clenches its right fist and slugs one of the brawling men. The man never saw it coming, and it's sent flying from the sheer force of it. He crashes it to the ground. What happened? Who the hell just sucker punched me? The struck man is still slightly disoriented, and pain radiates throughout his body as he furiously looks around for the culprit. And then he sees Geese, the infamous emperor of Southtown, stands imposingly before him, staring him directly into the eyes. The man freezes up in the sheer terror before Geese's name can even escape his mouth. What the hell? There's no way! Panicking, the man scrambles across the ground in the effort to get away. Evidently, being touched by Geese has enabled him to see the haunting figure. The other brawling men that take notice of his bizarre behavior and freeze. They begin to look around, searching for the cause of such a reaction. Then another of the men that takes an invisible punch. Just like the first, he's taken entirely off guard and sails through the air, landing in a heap of the ground, soon followed by many. This continues until every man still conscious can see Geese's figure. Overcome with terror from the sight, they shout and blindly charge at him. Damn it! Get him! Just get him! Yeah, you think you can play games with us?
I'll be sure to end this before the field takes you.
Damn, that is simply one way to acknowledge that.
One. Get ready. Fight. Hands off. Round 2. Get ready. Fight.
So I guess it's just being that is being as a being as a canon to the for this story that that Geese is coming back from the dead. That is gonna send the alarm to everyone.
Round 3. Get ready. Fight.
Too easy.
Regret this.
Boom, baby.
Geese wins.
None of them didn't stand a chance. Come on. This is what I get the impression from of the
I will never
Capcom versus SNK. The men, but they never stood a chance against the man once feared as the undisputed ruler of Southtown. One by one, they all fall. I'm sorry, they fall unconscious. Soon, the ghostly figure was the only one standing. The figure feels neither wrath or hated. No instinct drives it to fight. It simply retracts the habits and memories of the past life. Silent as ever, the figure returns to wandering. Several minutes later, Fox arrives in the alley. He takes one look at the violent aftermath before him and signs. The alley's ground is littered with bodies of unconscious men. Their wounds are definitely the physical. Yeesh, what a mess. So it's not just a soul drifting around, but a physical body? Weird. But I guess that is just how it is. Fox grabbed his phone from his jacket in a pocket and swiftly hits the speed dial. Kane, I'm on the scene. They all got bruises they got bruises, real bruises. We're dealing with something the corporal here. I see. A ghost of the past hunts with a physical body. I leave the search to you, Fox. I'm on it. Doesn't matter if it's Geese Howard or not. I'll harvest his voice. Just be sure the hunter doesn't become the hunted. Be careful, Fox. Yeah, I will. You be careful too, boss. Keynes ends the call with a soft laughter and assumes but sincere, of course. Okay, now it's time to harvest whatever that thing is. The entirely smooth, the entity smooth. Damn it! The entity smoothly moves through the alleyways, gradually making its way to the slum's main street. Though it may appear aimlessly, to keen observer, it would appear to be in the search of something. Is it driven by will, memories, retrospection, even? On the main street, a group of men in suits argue aggressively. Its clear fists could start flying at any moment. The entity approaches, the air thick with tension, shouts and curses. A fragment of memory springs forth. A street below Geese Tower was filled with arguing men. Even the slightest of a spark, sparks that could ignite the incomprehensible argument into an all-out brawl. Billy simply peered at them and shrugged. Those lose again? Nothing, Billy, that the expiration that Geese decided to impart with some wisdom. Billy, those who rule must be quick to stamp out the spark before they can grow into flames. If ignored, even the most trivial argument could fester and spread, eventually sinking its fangs into you. That's why at times a merciless, definitive end is the cleanest choice. Billy listened to Geese for a moment, allowing the words to sink in before responding honestly. Seems to me that if we leave them into it, they'll just take each other out. Geese didn't move. His expression like stone. Though you don't understand now. You will one day. The fragment fades into the present like fog. The entity swayed into the maelstrom of feuding men. Suddenly throws a punch at one of them without any warning. The man had expecting the men in the front of him to swing. But the phantom impact has come from where no person is standing. Stunned and confused, the man turns to look where the punch had come from. There he sees Geese. You got a lot of nerve, you damn fool. The man furiously glowers at Geese, yet he is the only there who is able to see him. To the others, it looks like that he's gone crazy, a man shouting at nothing. Only those touched by the shockwave of Geese's punch can see him. It's not that Geese bestows upon them with psychic abilities or some sort of a sixth sense. It was the intense emotions stirring within them, a phenomenon caused by the negative feelings such as resentment, hatred, and anger. The slums have no shortage of people who have been resented by others. Many of them that have committed acts that earned them intense grudge, and so as the men that are taken down one after another, they see Geese's image clearly. Stay away! No! What the hell is up with this guy? Quit crying, you bunch of cowards! Lock in and mess him up good. Some flee in terror, while others stand frozen stiff. Only few have the fighting spirit necessary to face Geese head on.
I'll be sure to end this before the fear takes you.
Yeah, I was having a hard time to read word by word. And just for a heads up, I got a little upgrade from other matches.
Is that your best?
Next.
Round 2. Get ready. Fight.
Oh, it is.
Round 3. Get ready. Fight. SPG.
Too easy.
Don't waste my time.
Okay. That's how it's gonna be, Bugs? Oh, you go. What the shit, man? That was a big mistake. Come on. I'm just gonna say that line when he's gonna show that pose.
I will never rest. Got it?
All right, so now I got the cost limit. So now that I can equip more skills. Geese's fist makes quick work of his foes, sending them crashing to the ground, one after another. Geese looks down at the bodies around him. But his eyes hold no sentiment or emotion. He has simply processed the scene before him, then leaves. Shortly after, Geese vanish. Kane stands unmoving as his white coat billows in the wind, quietly taking in Geese's awake. Help us! No, stay away! The men beg, scream, trembled, all reacting differently to Kane's arrival. Kane scans the injuries, then closely resemble the carnage Rock had dealt with when he was under the influence of the sacred scrolls. Geese has taken a physical form. Could it be Rock? Does it look like that Rock becoming as Geese? Well, in the latter mode. But anyways, Kane usually so cool and composed, has a bead of a sweat running down his neck. The possibility has shaken him greatly. He tries to question the groaning man, but all they shared in the incomprehensible rambling and scattered words. Conversation seems to out of the question. They're in no state of talk. Learning anything from them will prove to be a challenge. Luckily, Kane receives a call from Fox. Kane, we got a confirmed sighting of Geese in the second south. I'm heading there now. My sister is at risk. Get moving, Fox. The call ended abruptly. And I already told him that I was on the way. Kane just can't keep cool when it comes to his sister. As Fox muses about Kane's habit, he's suddenly struck by the worrisome thought. Fox jerks the steering wheel and makes it a sudden U-turn. Tires squeal as he whips the car around to speed off in the other direction. I'm gonna stop here for right now. So, with all the reading of every dialogue, so it's already taken a little toll on me, but you get the idea. So throughout every exploration progress, so. Which that means I'm gonna be confronting with Fox. That's gonna be in the second south. So what's gonna happen for this one? That will be considered that's gonna be break it down to the 3 parts for Geese. So that's going to be for the conclusion of part 1 of Nightmare Geese's arrival, and it's already bringing nothing but of shears and fear that is bringing the tremble into everyone in Southtown. So that part 2 that's going to happen on the second south that will be for the next day. But until then, I mean, this is pretty much all. That's all I could do for this moment. So I am still a noob to Nightmare Geese, and I'll give it a little around on the casual. So I'm just, I'm still trying to get used to of his skill set, because after all, he is a boss material. Or should I say that he is the Emperor of Southtown. But if you guys enjoyed that video and, give it my best, hit the like button and also leave a comments down below. And I will catch y'all in the next video. So take care, guys, and peace.